So, before we get started with anything, happy Halloween. For my absolute favorite time of year, I unfortunately can't give you guys a better video because I am very busy this week. However, you guys seem to really like my tier list videos on the Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion series, and I thought, hey, the FNAF movie comes out this week, why not make a video to celebrate that? Which, as of the time of recording this video, the movie isn't out yet, it comes out tomorrow and I'm gonna go see it. But for recording, it's not out yet, but by the time that the video is out, it will be out. But on top of that, I have a multitude of other events that I have to go to, which definitely will not give me enough time to make a normal video. And especially after doing the Franbo video, I am not about to be doing another long video. So for this video alone, we're going to be going off script today, somewhat. For this video, I won't be ranking every single character in the franchise. To be specific, I'll only be judging the designs from the first 5 games: Pizzeria Simulator, UCN, Help Wanted, Security Breach, and the movie itself. And then obviously excluding the characters from like Help Wanted and UCN that are literally just the same characters as before, but with like a 3D model now or something. We'll be jumping through these designs pretty quickly, but just for some quick snippets about the characters, I'll be listing 2 things that I like and 2 things that I don't like, if the character has 2 of both of those. How I'd rank their jump scare out of 10 and why, if they have one, and also it's majorly how I think they'd fuck you up or how much they actually scared me whilst playing the game. And then overall their final rank from S to F. And of course, as always, let me know what your own opinions are on some of the characters. I really love reading your guys' comments. But apart from that, let's get immediately straight into this. So, starting off the list, we have original Freddy Fazbear, which bonuses, he's the OG Freddy Fazbear, and he has a nice, simple design. However, I feel like sometimes the design can be a little bit too simple. For a jump scare, he has a solid 8 out of 10, he gets really up in your face and has a big chump. And the right door jump scare has scared the shit out of me multiple times. A tier. Bonnie, he has a solid color palette, he has a pretty cool guitar. I still have no idea if he's meant to be blue or purple, and it was a very big missed opportunity to add some little bunny teeth. For a jump scare, it's a solid 5 out of 10. Big chump, but he's halfway across the office from me. C tier. Chica and her cupcake are heavily underrated, the teeth look really spooky. However, chickens don't have teeth. Why does she have teeth? For a jump scare, it's a 6 out of 10. It's the same as Bonnie, but she moves slightly faster. B tier. Bonus for having a solid cupcake design. For Foxy, I feel like for the first game with the slightly broken design, looks cool as fuck compared to the other characters. He has a very unique mechanic for the first game, and his jump scare is a solid 5 out of 10. It has very dynamic movement, but he kind of just looks like he's checking in on us rather than killing us. A tier. Golden Freddy, eerie ass design, looks creepy as fuck. First, big Easter egg in the whole entire game, however crashing my game is a bit of a pain in the ass. Design is an 8 out of 10, it's pretty mysterious, but it's not a 10 out of 10 because it looks kind of plain because it's just a static PNG. A tier. Moving on to FNAF 2, we have Toy Freddy. I like his design changes when he gets closer to the office, e.g. when his eyes get darker and his mouth opens more the closer he gets to you. However, I don't like the fact that he looks more like a chipmunk than a bear, and I don't really like his personality. His jump scare's a 5 out of 10, because he looks like he's about to talk to me about his Roblox skins. E tier. Toy Bunny. He actually has the bunny teeth, and he actually looks like they were made to entertain kids. I don't like how perfectly round his nose is. His jump scare is a solid 9 out of 10 because he would crush me like a pancake. However, he's like 2 inches away from me before this. Why did he feel the need to make a leap at me? A tier. Toy Chica and her cupcake. Pretty decent color palette. I don't really like her mouth gimmick. It kind of just makes her look like a weird caterpillar. And I don't really like her personality. Her jump scare is a 7 out of 10. It's the same as Toy Bunny, but I don't like her mouth. D tier. Also, her cupcake is way too cutesy. Mangle, solid design, really freaky concept, 10 out of 10, would absolutely bite out my frontal lobe. S tier. Balloon Boy, F tier. For fuck JJ, C tier, you're cool I guess. The puppet freaked me out as a kid. It has a pretty good mechanic, however that same mechanic can get pretty annoying on later nights. Its jump scare is a 6 out of 10, however I feel like they float so lightly that they bounce off of me. B tier. Withered Freddy. absolutely humongous dude, and I love the teeth wrapping around to the back of the head that we get to see in later designs. However, he's kind of plain for a withered animatronic. His jump scare's a 5 out of 10, he has big chomps, but it's not much else. A tier. Withered Bonnie. Cool as fuck ripped off face, he looks badass as fuck with his red eyes. 10 out of 10, he's gonna rip my face off and replace it with his own. S tier. Withered Chica. Once again, the cool teeth combined with the broken jaw has a lot of wires, which means it's a lot of detail for me to draw. She has no cupcake, and her jump scare is a 7 out of 10. She's gonna fucking poke my eye out with that beak. B tier. Withered Foxy. Gets the broken look of the original Foxy and makes it even better. Has a sick ass death screen Easter egg. And his jump scare is a 10 out of 10. I would be crushed into a fine powder with that long ass leap. S tier. Withered Golden Freddy. He's even more withered than the Withered Freddy model and gives off similar vibes to the original. However, it doesn't have that same eeriness that the first game had. His jump scare is a 6 out of 10 because it's a funny big head. A tier. Shadow Bonnie. It's a pretty cool shadow design, however, it's just a blacked out toy Bonnie and it doesn't have that cool purple tint that Shadow Freddy has. It doesn't have a jump scare. D tier. Shadow Freddy, it's the better shadow design. He has a cool cameo in FNAF 3. He doesn't have a jump scare, but A tier. Springtrap, he has a cool rotten design and it's a freaky concept and a great way to introduce a villain. His jump scare is a 7 out of 10, it's a cool dynamic movement, however, he is too far away to do any actual damage to me. S tier. Phantom Freddy is my favorite Phantom, he just looks really cool and stays out of my way. His jump scare is a 9 out of 10, it's a really nice movement. S tier. Phantom Chica and the Phantom Cupcake. It's a cool concept of a haunted arcade machine, however she looks like a melon and she has the plainest Phantom design. However, her cupcake is way too fucking dark. How am I meant to see that in a fucking haunted house situation? It's dark as fuck in there. Her jump scare is a 4 out of 10. What the fuck is your arm reaching out for? E tier. Phantom Foxy has a cool green tinge to him and it uses the Withered Foxy model. However, he's kind of in the way most of the time. His jump scare is a 6 out of 10. It's a little bit janky, but it still uses the Withered Foxy's leap, which I like. B tier. Phantom Mangle. Always in the fucking way and she's loud as fuck. Fucking, her jump scare is a 0 out of 10. It's not even a jump scare. She just peeks her little fucking PNG up at you. F tier. Phantom Balloon Boy. F tier. For fuck Phantom Puppet. They're creepy looking. They have a cool noise. However, lack personal space. His jump scare is a 3 out of 10. Back the fuck up. C tier. And then the Phantom Golden Freddy / Shadow Freddy. I can barely fucking see him and I don't know who the fuck he's actually meant to be. It doesn't have a jump scare. D tier. Nightmare Freddy and his Freddles. It's a good mechanic. He has a pretty decent design. His jump scare is a 6 out of 10. Has some solid chomps in it. C tier. Nightmare Bonnie. My absolute favorite Bonnie face shape model out of all of the animatronics. He has cool purple eyes and his jump scare is a 9 out of 10 because he fucking grabs you. S tier. Nightmare Chica and her cupcake. Chica has many rows of teeth and cool fucking eyes and has sick ass cupcake design to go with it. Her jump scare is a 10 out of 10 for the same reasons as Bonnie, but she has the bonus of having a cupcake jump scare too. S tier. Nightmare Foxy. He's one of my top 3 animatronics, he's my favorite Nightmare design, and he's an absolute 10 out of 10 in his jump scare. He fucking zooms out that closet, and even when you're checking up on him, that closet jump scare always fucking gets me. S tier. Plush Trap. He's just a little guy and he looks like a little gremlin. His jump scare is an 8 out of 10, he's trying his best for his small size. A tier. Nightmare Fredbear. Best Fredbear design to exist. I know we only have like 3 of them, but he's the coolest. And he has a fucking sick ass psychological symbolism. However, he's a bitch to me on his night. Jump scare is an 8 out of 10. He gets right up in your face. However, I've seen it way too many times. A tier. Nightmare. Basically just cooler Fredbear and basically just Fredbear on steroids. His jump scare is a 5 out of 10. It's a creepy noise, but he lacks movement. S tier still. Jacko Bunny has the coolest fucking color palette and gimmick, and he's completely hollow and it looks cool. His jump scare is a 10 out of 10, he's fast in your face, and the chomps are faster. S tier. Jacko Chica and her cupcake. Same as Jacko Bunny, but she has a funny pumpkin. Her jump scare is also a 10 out of 10 because funny pumpkin jump scare. S tier. Nightmare Mangle. Makes Mangle look even freakier and for the most part uses the same parts as the Foxy model. For 10 out of 10, for the jump scare, it's just the same as Foxy. She's really fucking fast and she has the closet jump scare. S tier. Nightmare Balloon Boy, he's a fucking hobgoblin and he's actually the only balloon boy design that I actually like. However, he's still a balloon boy. But his jump scare is a 6 out of 10 because he has little grabby hands and he's a C tier. Nightmare On, freaked me out as a kid. Still freaks me out. Jump scare, 5 out of 10, same as Nightmare, B tier. Funtime Freddy and Bon Bon slash Bonnet. He's a silly guy, I like his voice, but fuck Bon Bon. Bonnet's cool though. His jump scare is a 4 out of 10, he's too far away and he looks like he's just trying to spook me more than anything. B tier. Funtime Foxy and Lolbit, he has a funny announcer voice and it's a really solid toy-like Foxy design, kind of like a repaired Mangle. However, they're not much of a threat in the game, you can just W spam. His jump scare is a solid 6 out of 10. He fucking grabs you and does the scariest thing imaginable. Eye contact. A tier. Also, Lolbit looks cool. Ballora and her mini-renas. I've never really been a fan of her and I loathe the mini-renas. Her jump scare is a solid 8 out of 10 though because her fucking endoskeleton design is creepy as fuck. D tier though. Then we have Baby and the Biddy Babs slash Electro Babs. The same as Ballora, I was never really a fan of her. And the Biddy Babs look weird. The only jump scare that we get for her is in UCN, so it's already a 4 out of 10 because UCN jump scare. E tier. Ennard. Cool fucking design, very fun to draw, and has solid lore and personality. His jump scare is a 7 out of 10, pretty intimidating looking without the mask, but with the mask on, I don't know what he's trying to achieve, but he's not ripping my face off anytime soon. A tier. Molten Freddy, my favorite fucking Freddy design, and he's an actual fucking goblin. His jump scare is an 8 out of 10, not a lot of movement, but it's a lot of sharp metal and exposed wires, which could fuck you up. S tier. Scrap Trap has a realistic-ish rotten design. He has a sharp bone arm, but he does look kind of goofy, I will admit. His jump scare is a 5 out of 10. He's about to stab me with his little arm, however, he's too far away. C tier. Scrap Baby. Literally just cooler baby. I actually like this design. She has a big ass claw arm, and her jump scare is a 7 out of 10. She looks like she's about to swing her big claw arm at her. B tier. Lefty has pretty cool lore and pretty freaky movement, however, a tad bit overrated. Not a lot though, but just a tad bit overrated. Jump scare is a 4 out of 10. It looks like those pictures of dogs with a 0.5 lens on them. C tier. Rockstar Freddy suffers the same fate as Toy Freddy. Also, he takes taxes. His jump scare is a 2 out of 10, very exaggerated movements, and also UCN jump scare. D tier. Rockstar Bonnie, I don't like his face and he can't keep his guitar for more than 2 seconds. His jump scare is a 4 out of 10, he's moving all over the fucking place. E tier. Rockstar Chica. She kind of reminds me of Sandy Cheeks, however she doesn't have a cupcake and she has weird looking teeth. Her jump scare is a 3 out of 10 because she looks more like she's dancing than anything. D tier. Rockstar Foxy. He has a pretty decent design actually, and he has a bonus of having a parrot. However, he's a nudist and a fucking traitor, and his jump scare is a 7 out of 10 because he's stabbing you with his hook. C tier. Ned Bear. He's a knockoff Freddy Fazbear and he's goofy His jump scare is a 2 out of 10. I don't know where the fuck he's trying to look, but it's not at me. D tier. Happy Frog. Pig Patch. I did not remember this man existed at all, to be honest. His jump scare is a 2 out of 10. E tier. Orville. He's a silly little magician. He's friend-shaped. His jump scare is a 4 out of 10, however, because he looks like he's showing me a magic trick and not trying to rip my face off. C tier. Mr. Hippo. He has long stories and old man vibes. His jump scare is a 4 out of 10 because he looks like he's freaking the fuck out. C tier. Funtime Chica. I don't like her personality and her cupcake looks fucking weird. She doesn't have a jump scare. F tier. El Chip. He looks like a nice guy, but someone tell this man that he doesn't need to pay for this many ads. He doesn't have a jump scare. C tier. Music Man. He freaks me out. His jump scare is a 0. It's literally just a moving PNG. F tier. Trash in the Gang. They're trash. Like actually. Jump scare is a 10 out of 10 because it fucking blasts my ears out with bass. S tier. Helpy. He's just a little guy and he's happy to be there. His jump scare is a 4 out of 10 because he's just a little guy with an air horn. C tier. D. F tier. For fuck Zor. You look kind of cool, but still fuck you. E tier. Glitch Trap. He's my favorite Springtrap based design. I say Springtrap in quotations because it's not actually, it's the mimic. He looks a lot more like an actual mascot suit than any of the other FNAF characters. He doesn't have a jump scare. A tier. Dreadbear. Frankenstein Monster Freddy design looks sick as fuck. He has a cool stitched up design. His jump scare is an 8 out of 10. He has big chompers and actually gets really close to your face. I mean, when you're wearing a VR headset, it's not that hard. S tier. Grim Foxy, my beloved Foxy design. Favorite character of all time. Jump scare is a 10 out of 10. Very fast movement, also the fire would burn a lot. He's very hot metal. Tier, he gets his own fucking tier. That's my favorite dude right there. Captain Foxy. He finally got his pirate outfit. B tier. Plush babies. F tier. Dark Freddy and Party Freddy. They're just Shadow Freddy, but with the reasons why I didn't like Shadow Bonnie. They're a 5 out of 10. It's just Freddy's normal jump scare. D tier. Neon Bonnie. Many colors. Metallic. Jump scare is a 5 out of 10. It's just regular Bonnie jump scare. C tier. Neon Chica, the same as Bonnie. However, her cupcake is a 3D model of a nightmare cupcake, which is nice. However, doesn't make up for the gross roaches that I had to be in a room with. Jump scare, 5 out of 10. Same as the regular Chica, C tier. Burnt Foxy. Doesn't look that good, I'll be honest. It's kind of just like a shittier Grim Foxy. His jump scare, once again, 5 out of 10. Regular Foxy jump scare, E tier. Shadow Mangle. Same as Dark Freddy. And it's just a regular Mangle jump scare, D tier. Also, moving into the security breach designs, I'm going to be grouping all of their shattered and ruined forms all together. I talk about them a lot more in my video about the ruined DLC, but because of this, I'm adding a third point to them. Glamrock Freddy. He's a great father figure, and he's not too one-sided with this. Like, I don't feel like he's an empty character, and he actually has life to him. He also has a really cool switch up in Ruin. His jump scare is a solid 9 out of 10. Monch would crunch my skull, B tier. Glamrock Chica. A really good Chica design and has a very sad character development. However, she could have been a valley girl and she doesn't have a cupcake. Jump scare is 8 out of 10 though. She has a cool head spin in the shattered form. B tier. Monty. He's a cool guy and he has a green and purple color palette, which will always be my favorite. He also has a really cool character development into Ruin. His jump scare is a 10 out of 10. He has a lot of sharp teeth and pulls the role of death in his shattered form. A tier. Roxy. She's my favorite glam rock and has perfect character development and made me fucking cry in Ruin. Her shattered form also kind of reminds me of Withered Bonnie. 10 out of 10 jump scare, sharp teeth, and fast movement. Plus the bonus headbutt in her ruined form. S tier. Sun/Moon/Eclipse. I'm grouping them all together. Somehow managed to turn my opinion around of them in Ruin. I didn't like them originally, but I liked them in Ruin because of Eclipse. And honestly, it's a pretty freaky design. However, I did have to wait until Ruin to like them. So, jump scare is a 5 out of 10. Really aggressive in Ruin, but pretty lame in base game. B tier. Staff bots. They're just doing their job. But can they do it without getting in my way for 2 fucking seconds? Jump scare is a 3 out of 10. They just kind of shoved their head in my face. C tier. DJ Music Man. Seems like a chill guy, however he doesn't appear in Ruin. His jump scare is a 10 out of 10. He's huge and could easily crush me like a little meat grinder. C tier. Little Music Man. He's freaky as hell, like even freakier than the original Music Man. Their jump scares are 6 out of 10. They ganged up on me. C tier. Glamrock Bonnie. He's dead as hell. What shoes he got on? He doesn't even look like the Bonnie Ball logo, and I don't like his leotard. He doesn't have a jump scare. F tier. The Blob, or Tangle, literally undermines all of Pizzeria Simulator's ending and doesn't even look good. Like, he just looks really lazy. His jump scare is a 0 out of 10. Once again, it doesn't fucking look good. F tier. Burn Trap. It's a really good Springtrap design. Once again, Springtrap in quotation marks. However, it's a shame that he only shows up at the end of the game and, like, never anywhere else. He doesn't have a jump scare, B tier. Helpy with an I. He's just a sassy little guy, and possibly more to him than he lets off. Doesn't have a jump scare, A tier. The Mimic, possibly the best fucking endoskeleton design that we've ever gotten. He is really freaky looking. Plus he also has the bonus of the mascot costume. His jump scare's a 10 out of 10, he's really aggressive, and he looks like he's about to rip my limbs off. S tier. The Entity, also known as MXES. Probably my favorite decision to make a hare character instead of it being a rabbit. It really blends in with the AR environment and he has a pretty decent mechanic. He doesn't have a jump scare, S tier. And then finally that big fucking cupcake, fuck you. I did nothing to you, F tier. And before we get into the movies, we're gonna talk about the endoskeletons really fucking quickly. Endo 1, pretty decent design, C tier. The Endo 2, really detailed and the one that I'm most familiar with, A tier. Nightmare Endo. Put his skin back on. Never let him see the light of day again, F tier. Yendo, I didn't know who this man was, but he's pretty okay, D tier. And the Glamrock Endo, probably the best part of the base game security breach, S tier. And then finally moving on to the movie models, I want to say that each and every single one of them are insanely accurate to their base game model. Like, I will be talking about this with all of them. Freddy Fazbear, he looks really accurate to the base game model, and I would absolutely love to have seen this guy as a kid. A tier. Bonnie, once again, very accurate and well made, and I love his little bow tie pattern. A tier. Chica, she's accurate. Bonus murder cupcake. However, she's always giving me really fucking nasty stink eye. B tier. Foxy, he's really fucking accurate, and he literally can only be an animatronic at all times instead of a suit because of the proportions of him. And also he caught on fire. S tier. And Golden Freddy, I love the broken down design of him, combining both the design from FNAF 1 and the Wither design. He also has a really cool blue eye, and he's just S tier. And then finally the Springtrap design, or Spring Bonnie, whatever he's gonna end up being in the movie. We haven't gotten a clear look at him at the time of recording, but he still looks really cool and accurate nonetheless from what we can see. A tier. And honestly, just one last thing about the movie. If I saw literally any of these fucking designs as a kid, I would have freaked the fuck out. Even if it was like just Chica, I would have freaked the fuck out. They look so insanely good. I love them all so much. And that concludes the list. Once again, at the time of this video being up, I will have already watched the new movie, but as of recording, it is the Tuesday of the week it comes out. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow, however. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video since it's not my usual style of content and the quality might be a little bit lower because I really have to rush through making this video. Going through things so fast isn't something I normally do, but either way, if you enjoyed it, I'd suggest sticking around anyway by subscribing. And let me know down below what you're doing for Halloween and what your own opinions on the characters on the list are. I will see you next week. Happy Halloween, and bye-bye.